We'll go into the MVP interview now. Let's see who it's going to be. It's Bomber.
안녕하세요. 네, 오자마자 저한테 승자신 누구 찍었냐고 물어봤어요. 왜 그러시죠? 아무래도 고펠레니까.
So Bomber asked Kanata who he picked for the predictions,
제가 우리 김정우 선수
because Kanata is known to be wrong in his predictions.
6대 0이었던 것 같습니다.
And he was hoping he picked Sora.
만족하시나요? 네, 한번 쏘셔야 될 것 같아요.
And actually that's what happened.
저희가 쏘야겠네요. 죄송합니다. 오늘 승리한 소감이 어떠세요?
He's telling Bomber that all the commentators and the casters picked him.
거의
So
최지성 선수는 외길 인생이
you should buy something for Bomber since he picked Sora.
상대방이 뭘 노려볼
Because everyone
수가
else picked
없을
Bomber.
정도로 지금도 미니맵을 보시면요. 병력이
So we're going to talk about this match versus Sora here.
쪽 대이동도 아니고
It didn't look like Sora even had a chance.
김유진 선수랑 할 때도 이런 식으로 해서 이겼었잖아요. 유독 이 플레이를 고집하는 이유가 있을까요?
Not a massive, huge army.
제가 평소에 토스전에 치즈러시를 하는
Just did one huge attack.
그거에 대해서 상대 선수들이 맞춤을 많이 하더라고요. 실제로 최근에 치즈러시를 해서 프로리그에서 2연패 하기도 했었고 그래서 다르게 준비를 하는 게 좋죠.
A lot of people are familiar with the build, so I usually use cheese rushes in Pro League, but I lost with cheese rushes. So I've been going back to my roots, my original builds here.
어떤 걸 노리고 기대를 찍는 건가요?
제가 최근에 좀 이 빌드를 연습해 본 결과
That's why you produced the mines, he's saying. Or maybe Kanata's asking about that.
바이킹이랑 유닛이 안 좋아요?
Bomber says in practice, using the Vikings is not very effective. He says that Vikings are in fact trash. Those are the words he uses. So he uses mines instead.
Look at the mines on the left side here. They blocked the Colossi from fighting. The mines took all of that damage, and the Marauder then as well.
Bomber says that he doesn't think that Vikings are going to be used very much in TVP in the future.
It's really interesting. And his teammate MA seems to have a different opinion, but like, because he made a lot of Vikings in that game, but I'm really curious about that. That's a really cool interview.
Also different styles, the way they play it as well. So.
그때부터 약간 좀 이런 빌드에 재미가 많이 들리신 것 같네요. 그때
Well, this game is over, as you can see here.
그때는 약간 어설픈 상대였고 지금은 완전
확실히 좀
They're talking about his match against SOS.
네, 신. 그래요?
Kanata's mentioning
조성주와는 약간 좀 다른
that
느낌이
that's the first time that Bomber started to use this kind of build with the Widow Mines.
그러니까 이름을 가려도
Bomber says that he perfected that build before the match against SOS. And after that, he only uses this against Protoss players. It's been working out.
That's pretty cool. That was really interesting. The Widow Mines totally zoned those Colossi out. They were firing on those instead of firing on the Marines. It didn't target them, and if he tries to run over them, the Widow Mines are going to hit the Colossi and do a lot of damage. Really interesting.
그냥 막나요?
네, 10찌르기도 막을 수 있습니다.
아 진짜요? 그럼 어떻게 이겨요?
원래 땡더블이
Asking about the early Zealot from Sora, asking how he felt about that.
땡더블이 약점이 없다고요? 네. 전진 관문
Bomber says he was happy to see that. He knew he could defend, and he wasn't flustered by it at all.
그럼 어떻게 해요? 토스?
같이 땡더블 해야죠.
사신 오잖아요.
그럼 지지 못하겠죠.
So he's asking, how should Protoss players play against him?
알겠습니다. 제가 갑자기
He says that they should
할
be very greedy and expand as fast as possible.
연패 이후에 다시 한번 더 올라갈 수 있을 만한 그런 계기가 되는 것 같거든요.
And then they're talking about sending the Reapers instead if Protoss decide to do that, and how they're going to have to type DG.
삼성하고 T1이 남았는데 삼성전 꼭 이기고 마지막 경기에 T1에서도
They have a match against Samsung and SK Telecom ahead of them, and he wants to win both of those matches. If they don't lose to SK 3-0, he's pretty confident they should make it into the playoffs. He's saying, thanking to the fans who support SBENU and himself, and the CEO is here to support them as well, so he wants to thank him for coming down.
Well, is SBENU win today? As you can see, these cool, well-drawn players. Zoom in on that Bomber drawing. Bomber always wearing the cap, as you can see here. He looks really good in the cap, so I don't blame him. But that was a bit of a one-sided game there. I feel like it's totally feasible for SBENU to beat Samsung easily.
Oh yeah, I would favor them actually going into that matchup. Against SK Telecom though, I think it's probably going to go 3-1 over there. We still have to get the lineups, you know, and see exactly how they go up against each other. But guys, we do have another match here tonight. It's MVP versus Prime, the rematch. It's going to be Hero versus Yoda, and then Yonhwa versus Creator, Losira versus Keen, then Center versus Boom Boom to finish things off there.
Yep. So it's going to be maybe a closer one. Prime has had some trouble. Again, I don't even think they've won a single match this round, so
it's either 0 or 1.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Creator might have won that one game versus Zest, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I think so.
Yeah, that's definitely it. So they've been having a tough time, but MVP another one of the weaker teams in the league, so maybe they can pull it off.
We'll see if they can do it. But first, guys, a 10-minute break. When we come back, MVP versus Prime.